All right, so this is sixth video rather. So yung previous video pa I mentioned ito na fifth but not of course I will be have a title in each video no na proper. So anyway, let's continue. We are now on article 4, practice of real estate service. So medyo ito mahaba, 14 sections, and I'll be covering this in one whole video for proper appreciation of the subject or the article, the practice of real estate service. So this is Clifford Enoch, and if you are new to my channel, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and thank you very much. So I'll start with the section 25. The way this is for educational and not any something like legal advice, or if you are a law student, probably you can have some codal reading. This one is codal reading with some opinions from myself. And also, as a licensed real estate broker, I have already, parang sa Tagalog o sa Bisaya pa is nagianan na ako, ano ba? Then in Tagalog, I already passed or meron na akong natutunan regarding nitong batas na to, RESA, no? Konti, not all. But right now, if I read this again, I learn new things, right? So, section 25, that's oath until section 38. So, certificate of registration, ng mga APO number, something like that. But let's start with section 25, oath taking. Oath. So, as yung broker ka na, you pass the board exam, naging broker, and I mentioned here broker because that's the start nun yung mayroong qualification or mayroong examination. So, become a successful examinees qualified for registration, you know, and also, and those who are qualified for registration na walang exam, no, they are, ito siya, requirement niya is to take an oath. So, that's important. So, I went there to, I forgot. It's a convention, malaki. I forgot the name, no, but I'm sorry. Please comment that on comment section. Yung parang Manila something. No, doon kami no, taking, no? Meron akong picture doon malaki. Nagpa-picture ako ba yung sa front. Board, member of the board, before any member of the board. So meron akong, if you go to my Facebook official page, meron akong picture doon with the members of the board. Officers of the commission, duly authorized by the commission to administer oath prior, administer oaths. So, plural. Kasi marami kami nun sabay-sabay. So, like for example, ilan sila dyan sa harap, mga chairman, tsaka yung board members. Marami kami. Then ganyan, state your name. O taking yan. Before you enter into the practice. So that's 25 and 26. After that, if you want to, of course, kung sa Bisaya pa is na maligya or nagbebenta ng mga properties, and para you are sinasabing legal, so merong tinatawag na mag-ban, no? 30 ban, pagka-ban. Lahat ng professionals. So here, specifically sinabi dito brokers. So let's dissect this later on. No? Kasi mangyari kasi pag broker ka, and then you're also an appraiser, and then you're also a consultant. So, parang sabi ng iba, yung mga, I have many friends, so basically, not a lot siguro. They are appraisers, consultants, and then even, yung planners, yung ganyan, environmental planners. Word, so, sabihin, apat na, so, daming babayaran, no? Mga renewals. So, here, it mentions brokers and appraisers. Private. Specific, private. Kasi meron din public real estate appraisers. In addition to the oath referred to in the preceding sections, which is 25, no, be required to post a professional indemnity insurance card, cash or surety bond. So ito naman, these are for in our subject credit transactions where we mention surety and also indemnity. Kasi like for example, if you have some ano yan parang insured, you do something na because professionals are being uh, given a bond to make sure that you are complying or doing yung tamang ginagawa mo ba, ganyan. So, mayroong ban. So, whatever anong mangyari, yan, the certi will answer. So, yan, meron kang ban. So, it's required. And then, it's also renewable every 3 years. Mangyari nito is when your card also will renew, kasama doon ang renewal din ng band, no? Yung cash and surety band. So ano yung difference when we say cash band, outright sa PRC is 20. But then kung surety naman, hindi naman siya malaki, surety band. Parang ganyan, para sa sasakyan. And what else? Yung mga band ganyan. Sasakyan, pwede rin sa bahay, merong or sa condo, yun, insurance. So yun ang section 26. And we go to section 27, which uh, discuss a particular provision which says that a single act or a transaction, this means within a year kasi halimbawa a broker, yung sabi mo hindi active or but within a year meron ka lang isang transaction, you are still practicing or constitute a practice. But then also, it's also mentioned here because yung halimbawa a person who is doing real estate service practice but then they are not or they are unlicensed or they are illegal. So matawag yan or fall under a practice. So tawag doon, maakusahan, no? Pwedeng makulong kung unprofessional or unlicensed rather. But then if they are licensed and then they are doing some violations of the provisions of the RESA law, no? Yun, ang penalty is 100,000 or 2 years imprisonment pagka-license niya. Unlicensed is doble. So here, it says here single or single act or single transaction. And then, dito tayo sa section 29, which is a prohibition against the unauthorized practice of real estate service. So, no person na mag-practice o mag-offer of the service or himself or herself as a practitioner or a state practitioner or gagamit siya ng title, word or figure, ito, or sign. So, what if, like, for example, ay, Mr. Paxiker, ito, popular to na comment or regarding dun sa mga na-post sa Facebook, social media. Person claiming to be a real estate consultant. But then, they are employed by a big real estate developer in our country. So, that's, medyo, maraming, dyan, raised eyebrows with some people commenting on they should not be they violate section 29, no, that they are tending to convey the impression that he or she is a real estate service practitioner or advertise that indicate in some manner like for example real estate expert. Yan yung mga ganyan, real estate expert or real estate or what else. Meron kasi iba, I forget some other terms na questionable matawag siya or fall under questionable na mga terminologies. But then, some use it to para bang to get away ba? Kasi parang under sila ng isang company or corporation and then they are just, shall we say, working for that corporation. And then one of the things that, ano kasi, I don't know, so, um, wait, someone's calling. I have to cancel. Okay. So, saan ba tayo? So, one that is a real estate service practitioner advertised in a manner whatsoever that one is qualified to practice or be appointed as a real property appraiser or assessor sa government. At then hindi siya nag-pass ng he doesn't pass the exam given by the board and then wala siyang valid na certificate of registration and a PRC card, no? Or valid as temporary special permit issued by the board. And in case of a broker, appraiser, they have wala silang nagbayad ng bond din. So, yan, that's prohibition. And we know if you violate the prohibition, the prohibited acts, or unauthorized practice is under doon sa penal provisions. So let's continue with Section 30. Section 30 is the position in the government requiring the service of real estate service practitioners. So within 3 years, so kanina we have mentioned the 2 years nung sa tawag doon, grandfather clause na pwede siya lang without examination. Here naman, effectivity of the act within 3 years, yung mga nasa position ng government, either in a local or in a national, parang merong career service or a non-career service, permanent, temporary, contractual, primary requiring the service of, and then, ano to? Primarily requiring the services of any real estate practitioner, kailangan na registered and licensed. No, so kung hindi licensed and registered, they are not required or not be in that position anymore. So di na pwede, no? So like for example, in the local municipality that na merong assessors, he or she should be a licensed real estate appraiser na merong card as an appraiser. And then he can work in a government like in assessors. So ang tawag na sa kanya is a assessor, no? Licensed real estate assessors. And when we say assessors, that's for done yung mga machinery, yung mga pag-assess ng values for taxation purposes. Okay, so next sentence in this section, no? I break down, by the way, if you notice, each sections, di ba mahaba yung mga text, so ginawa ko dito, I break it down to a sentence and then next sentence na naman, so parang ano ba, yung outlined view. So in that way, mas madaling maintindihan at saka yung pagbasa natin sa one block. So one line is called block in Lagsec. So one line, the next sentence is a second block. Third block is a third sentence, something like that. If you have another paragraph, so I can next naman na sa na block na naman, so on so forth. So let's continue. All incumbent assessors holding permanent appointments. I already mentioned this, or if you remember, no, yung mga permanent appointments. And then shall continue to perform their functions without need for a reappointment and without diminution of status, rank, and salary, and shall enjoy security of tenure. So these are appointments that are holding permanently, and then of course wala na, no need na for reappointment. However, they may not be promoted. Hindi sila ma-promote to a higher profession or no, higher position until they meet yung sa qualifications that higher position are prescribed, no, mga qualification requirements. So nothing in this action be construed to reduce, no, or benefit, interest, enjoy at the time of the enactment of this act. The appointing authority shall exercise its power to appoint the assessors in accordance with the Prohibition Act only when a vacancy occurs. So about the position of the government requiring the need for real estate service practitioners in its expertise regarding like sa appraisal, no, ng mga assessors. Section 30 will govern. And section, what it is mentioned, 30, section 30. Okay, so now section 31. And these are the provisions that we need to understand. If we or you right now, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not yet subscribed. No. So section 31 mentions supervision. Like me, I'm a broker. I supervise some, or not necessarily. You are always on their back. No, yung kailangan mo talagang on their shoulder. So these are the supervisions of a broker. If you are a broker who supervise a salesperson. So for real estate salesperson, wala silang examination. So ito naman ang already parang redundant ito, balik-balik, no? No? And then ang these are the requirements. If you have a salesperson under you, of course these are pertinent provisions that some kanang parang or against, some are okay ra ganyan. But they should be completed at least 2 years of college. That's 72. I think 70 units or 72 units, no? Dapat na second year in college. And then meron silang or naka-undergo and so it means you have at least 2 years and meron kang training and seminars. Wait, kabila. Down. So seminars in real estate brokerage as may be required. So how many hours? I think 120 units man siguro yun before, but now I don't know kung ilang units for the salesperson. I think it's only 12 units. And then for real estate salesperson shall be under the direct supervision and accountability of our real broker. So ito yung sinabi ko kanina that a broker must supervise their salesperson. And as such, they themselves, the real estate persons, are not signatories to a written agreement, like for example, from a seller to a agent for signatories in a authority to sell, no? Unless there is a clause or there is a provision that says that the real estate broker has direct supervision and accountability over them is also a signatory. So pwede yung agent mo, but at least ikaw na broker, alam mo, at saka you have the signatory ka rin doon, no? And then no real estate salesperson, either directly or indirectly, itong third sentence, third sentence, can negotiate, yung parang nag-broker na, because this job, mag-negotiate, mag-mediate, are job of a broker. But then, so let's continue reading, no? Ato lang isang basahin natin, no? Mediate, transact any real estate transaction for and in behalf of a real estate broker. Kasi they are, general rule, they are not allowed to become a broker, no? Mag-mediate, mag-negotiate, because that's the job of broker. In behalf of broker, pwede rin na, kasi ako yung pinagginawang proxy or kanang yung agent o agent ako ni somebody someone na tapos ako ang nag-ano. But then wala siyang authorization or authorized na accredited ba kaya siya for the broker. Meron siyang engagement ba? Meron kasi na form sa PRC, broker and agent engagement. So, kung ayaw mo na sa isang salesperson, you can have a dislodging form to fill up para hindi na siya connected to you. But if you are connected, so may merong authority that this person is under me, under my tutelage, or under your care, or under your supervision, direct supervision. So, pwede yan ang salesperson. To, transact, yung mga ganyan-ganyan. But they have the authority by the broker, no? Authorized accreditation. And then, if a broker utilize the service of a person, of a salesperson, and then wala siya secured accreditation, but then, ito no, when I say kanina that the salesperson is authorized, first, to become a licensed real estate salesperson. By the way, I have another video specific dito, no? If you can found that on my channel. Iba yung sa mga professional license they are registered, no? But then sa salesperson, they are accredited. Papa-accredited sila sa PRC, and then sa HLURB before. Now it's DHSUD or DHSOD, no, DSOD. And yan. And then after that, meron din sila engagement sa broker. So ito yung I mentioned here dito sa third or fourth. I think fourth. Yeah, fourth sentence. So that's it, no? Medyo if you follow my channel, you can go there and watch regarding sa accreditation of a salesperson. And then no salesperson shall be entitled to receive or compensation other than the brokers. Kasi ang broker ang may direct supervision. So dapat pagka mayroong ma-receive, it should be court through or through the broker, tsaka broker na lang yung bahala dun sa kanyang salesperson or agent. So no violation of prohibition should be caused for revocation or suspension of certification unless there was an actual knowledge. Kasi pagka in good faith, like for example, hindi ko naman yan agent, pwede kaya I have no knowledge of the agent being nag-negotiate siya ng ganito si person, ganito si seller, and then without my knowledge. So yan. You have no actual knowledge, doesn't necessarily na a broker will have a violation. So that is ipoprove or something like if you are doing it na in bad faith or in good faith. So yan. Um, kung wala kang actual knowledge, of course, you are not violating anything, no? A violation, no? So, such violation or the broker retains the benefit, profit, or proceeds of a traffic wrongfully negotiated by the salesperson. Kasi meron namang, marami ng mga news or reports or I've heard from our other professionals na merong mga salesperson doing some mga wrong negotiation or shall we say illegal practice. So section 31, and then let's proceed to the corporate practice of real estate service. This one is medyo some are not in favor of one broker per 20 person. Others are proposing that tanggalin na yung 20 limit. Okay? So let's start with letter A. So no partnership or corporation. These are juridical, no? Partnership or corporation. engage in the business of real estate unless it is registered with the SEC. So partnership and corporation sa SEC. Pagka single proprietor, at no need na sa SEC, DTI. And the persons authorized to act. So these are the like the president or the partners, no? And they are all duly registered and licensed real estate brokers, appraisal, or consultants, as the case may be. So, ang mga authorized to act, meron silang one of them or yung authorities, they are brokers, assistant, appraisers or consultant. So, not necessarily yung lahat ng board, no. But let me check. I'm not sure if all, like for example, um, a real developer. Sabi dito, no partnership or corporation engaged in the business real estate unless it's registered and merong and dito and ang persons lang authorized to act. The person authorized to act for the partnership or corporation. Person authorized. So authorized, what do you mean by person authorized? So they are all. So dapat lahat brokers. So authorized, I think this is understandable, no? So kung like for example, I don't know, I cannot comment on this kung kailangan ba yung sa in a corporate practice of real estate service, business of real estate service. So when we say real estate service, like a real estate developer, no? But let's continue reading ito. The partnership or corporation shall regularly submit a list of its real estate service practitioners to the commission and to the SEC as part of its annual repertorial requirements, like a big developer in the country. So yung mga authorized doon is dapat mga brokers. So yun pala. But not necessarily the owner kasi yung corporation, di ba malaki naman yung company. And they have different, let's say, holdings. Meron silang mga subsidiaries. So that's it. And then the partnership or corporation, there shall be at least one broker for 20. So ito yung kanina. And then if like for example in a company such as I will not mention na lang siguro. Like they are all over the Philippines and then they have in Cebu, in Davao, Cagayan, Bohol, whatever, wherever. So divisions or department of and corporation engage in marketing and selling maraming mga real estate development project in the Philippines. Dapat full-time. Full-time. So yung mga, if you are employed with the big companies, no, you should be full-time registered and licensed real estate brokers. Okay, and then when you are been when you are been employed, your employment is a independent contractor. No, you are not an employee. You are just employed as an independent contractor. No, to head the company or the division or partnership ng corporation. So kung broker, so nagbibenta sa broker license. Yan. Sa branch naman, branches, so letter C, branch offices of real estate brokers, appraisers or consultant must be manned by a duly licensed real estate broker, appraiser, consultant, as the case may be. So, dapat kung mayroong branch, it should have at least a broker doon sa isang branch. In case of termination, resignation, or termination from employment of real estate service practitioner, yung kanina, I mentioned that independent contractors, no? But it's not necessarily that you are prohibited to become an employee, no? It doesn't mean na when it says there that independent contractor, it doesn't also mean that you cannot be employed. Pwede rin employee. The same shall be reported by the employer to the board within the period not to exceed 15 days from the date of effectivity of the resignation or termination. So, in that situation, um, ang employee mag-report, no, sa board, sa PRC, sa PRBRES, within a period hindi lalagpas ng 15 days sa effectivity ng resignation or termination nung broker kaya yan. And then subject to the labor code, ito, yung sinabi ko kanina, no? And because when we say employee and there is an established ang employee-employer relationship, you are now ang provisions is under the labor code na. But then if you are called an independent contractor and you have no employee and employer relationship and just being parang nag-render ka service as a consultant, mga ganyan, or commission basis. So, ito, a corporation or partnership may hire the services of a registered licensed broker operator on commission basis to perform real estate service and later sa medium independent contractors. So, like for example, if you hired a broker but then hindi ka wala kang sahod only to the extent na your only salary is by commission based lang sa mga group mo na benta. That's considered an independent contractor. You are deemed independent contractors and not employees. Section 33. Display of license in the place of business. So this one, a registered and licensed practitioner establish and maintain a principal place of business. And this one is when you registered DTI, single proprietor, yung pangalan mo, ganyan. And then, or kung mag-branch ka naman, so you have to display conspicuously kanang you go to an office, yung makita siya kaagad ba, yung visibly displayed, no? Original, the original or nakalagay dito, original and or. So, pwede siya yung certified to copies. Pwede rin original, pwede rin certified to copies. And his or her registration as well as if employed in such office kung a branch, if it is a branch, and then for your license, your accredited salesperson rather. So names ng mga salesperson, it will be listed. No? So section 34. So accreditation and integration of real estate service association. This is what I call my past videos, yung IPO or APO, is called a national organization, and it will be recognized by the board. Meron na, ang tawag doon is PhilRes, I think, PhilRes, but then parang hindi active. No? Real estate practitioner, pagka maging na siya, automatic siya member, no? IPO. At saka you will receive benefits and privileges. And then, ang membership sa kasi pwede naman mayroong mga different organizations like akin is Mandawi, tawag doon. Basta yung meron sa Cebu City, Mandawi, mga ganyan. But you can be a member to different associations or real estate, tawag doon, yung mga organizations, no? But then they are under one umbrella of a national, yung tinatawag na APO, no, o IPO. Then you can have a different organizations. Pwede kang member ka ng dito, member ka rin sa Manila. Ganun. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng membership in the accredited shall not be a bar to membership in other associations or real estate service practitioners. No? Yan. And Code of Ethics. Let's close this. Code of Ethics, Section 35. The board shall adopt and promulgate for states to prescribe and I have a separate video for Code of Ethics in this one. Maybe I will connect this later. No, please watch out for the connection. Meron tong connection or sorry say doon na lang kasi mas comprehensive yun about Code of Ethics and the enforcement. Ito sa mga lawyers, mga batas, no, mga uh, shall we say mga person na to or peace officers, no. The duly constituted authorities of the government shall likewise assist the board and the commission enforcing the provisions of the yung BI, yung mga ganyan, you know. At saka yung sa IRR o the implementing rules. Saka lawyers of the commission, magiging silang act as prosecutors. No, mayroong mga illegal practitioners or mga violators. And lastly, and last but not least, Section 38. So identification of certificate of registration, itong PIC or professional identification card or PRC card. You have the license number there and the PTR. Sa tax naman to. Saka yung sa APO, accredited professional registration number. So dapat nakalagay yan sa like for example, ano ka ng website or ads, you indicate your professional ID na nakalagay dyan mga expiration, mga ganyan. And that's it for Article 4. This is video number 6. Watch out for the following video continuation. No, the last video, I guess, Article 5, which is the penal provisions. And thank you for watching.